Hi there, this is a remaster of an older video I published years and years ago. I do try to give all of these a bit of extra context or story or intro, but honestly this is one of the few older videos that, although a bit dated stylistically, I think I said everything I needed to say. All I'm going to add this time is that the actual Mr. Blobby commented on this video when it originally released. I love this guy. Anyway, if you're asking who Mr. Blobby is, well...
This is Mr. Blobby. A demonic spirit once caged inside the gates of Noel's house party, which coincidentally is the name of a television show once hosted by Noel Edmonds. In the second season of the show, Mr. Blobby made his appearance as a part of a segment where celebrities would come onto a fake children's show and essentially be the victim of practical jokes. To aid this visually was the design of Mr. Blobby, purposely taking such a form to be an atrocity which strikes fear into the souls of anyone who even dare speaks the name.
Say the words 3 times and he appears.
Despite being made to terrify children, kids love this thing. It became marketable, it got everything, it got an actual children's show, plush toys, mugs, shoulder bags, a top of the charts Christmas single, a theme park that failed after 3 months, and a video game. Of all things to release it on, it came on the Commodore Amiga, a home computer from the times of the NES. It survived well into the 90s and became a great home for numerous games exclusive to the platform. And that home was often broke into. Cracked games were huge on the platform, and many of the groups often showed off impressive introduction sequences called cracktros. Cracktros are genuinely great, showcasing and holding impressive visuals and music. And then there's this. Admittedly, I'm unfamiliar with this system, but still holding true today, the computer has impressive graphics compared to the consoles of the time, at least during the earlier years of the platform before real 16-bit consoles hit the market. In line with my computer specifically, it takes forever to load into anything. First there's the title image, loading, switch to disc, loading, the real title screen, loading, house, and then... what did I do? Alright, now we're back here. There's not really a lot of stuff to do inside the Blobby house, so instinctively I just decided to leave and... okay, the game's actually started and I'm genuinely confused. I'm given a single screen room that gains colour as I walk over the terrain. You know what, actually, this entire setting looks kind of familiar. Oh yeah, it's that Trolls game! I loved that one. So yeah, this entire game is a port kind of a Super Nintendo game by the same company. Quite frankly, I'm amazed by what this port managed to achieve. Not necessarily getting a Super Nintendo game onto a Commodore, more so the fact that Millennium Interactive made Mr. Blobby seem less terrifying than something else. So the aim of every level is pretty simple. The player must traverse the land and colour every tile by standing on it. Once the entire level has been coloured in, a celebration happens with food raining from a portal, and after a short amount of time the level ends. Well done, the evil mist has been banished. And hey, the next level's a side-scroller. The objective is still the same, but with a much greater world to explore. Comparatively. It's here I got a much greater feel for the controls and they're... The game controls alright enough, it's the gimmicks that really define it. Pressing space allows you to throw anything you're holding, while an ice cream based ammunition counter is used otherwise. The trajectory is rather odd and the collision against the platforms doesn't always... work. Dash dancing causes Blobby to spiral worse than Noel's ratings. The attack is actually pretty useful. That's a statement I'd proudly advertise if I used it more than once on purpose. When using this you can't climb ladders, which is a precise way to colour in parts of the world. It just led me to not often using it lasts way too long. There's also swimming, and without picking up a certain item you can't move around freely, but being at the surface level is all that's needed to complete enough levels and give you the Edmund experience. Water first appears in the second level to give a player a quick introduction to the concept, and following this is the Grand Castle. But a Blobby building. I like the design of this location a lot actually, but the spawning of the hazards here is just awful. At random while trying to ascend you just get hit with no chance of avoiding the obstacles. If you lose all your health, Blobby will spontaneously combust. So after we die, we get that trademarked Commodore Cumber and we see ourselves at the Blobby residence, now playing as Mrs. Blobby. Turns out you get 3 lives, each one represented by a different Blobby. Baby Blobby is certainly my favourite character based on the fact they're small and have a slight advantage when it comes to not being hit by off-screen hazards. Luckily when you change character, your progress in the level is saved. Also, can I just point out how terrifying this place is? Sure, it's meant to be a haunted castle, but the collectibles are all just fat. Also, what is this? Following up from the Castle of Illusion is this space themes level. There's nothing much to comment on here, it's just a nice looking environment and there I go. By now I was comfortable with the game's clunky controls and this level seemed to have the right length in terms of how long it takes to complete. The levels aren't exactly hard though, also they're just frustrating due to the hassle of the controls. Oh hey, it's the troll game again! I love that one! So here I began to realise exactly how many assets are reused from the Trolls game. I also realised how tall mans can jump here. Ladders would pretty much be irrelevant if they didn't help with colouring the entire world, to be honest. Following from this was a bonus level, a simple rush to collect all of the collectible items which just so happen to be food. These levels don't really have a sense of rush to them since the time is overly generous. There's no high stakes like in the obvious comparison of Gourmand Race. The waiting becomes a bore, which at this point summarised my entire experience. At the 7th level, the reused assets kinda got to me. The world didn't have much risk to it, and the nature of the game made me explore every nook and cranny of an uninspired world. From here, no elements were really introduced that changed enough to keep me going. Honestly, after 10 levels, I was ready to give up. And then I somehow broke the game. Yeah, after beating the 11th level, I somehow died and ended up just doing this, so guess I'm free from that. I didn't really want to go on. 10 levels seemed like enough to me, but at the same time I wanted to keep going and see what the finale of this adventure was. The final level is essentially a giant maze. There's no new elements or anything, it's not even particularly hard, it's just tiring. It took me way too long to complete this level, it was just boring, bland, empty, emotionless. An endurance test. Now get this right, get this, you won't believe this. After about half an hour of wondering, it turns out I missed a single lone tile from the first area I visited. That's it. That's what I get for completing this game. I'm not angry. I'm completely, perfectly calm. Mr. Blobby isn't a bad game, but it seriously drags out way too long. Later I did go back to some later levels to see if anything new happened, and there wasn't anything worth talking about. Considering the system it's on, it plays fine, looks fine, it's all just fine, but it's also just weird. And boring, incredibly boring. Overall, I'd say it's a good thing that Mr. Blobby has a game, but I think his legacy deserves better. Now we're talking!